So, Battle Arrow's finally wrapped up. Well, there's still the Fighter Z tournament going on, but I don't think we'll see any more information to do with the Dragon Ball Super Remake / Beerus anime here. But we did obviously get some brand new news, which is fairly exciting. Now, the only bad thing is, I would say, about this little section is we didn't get any release date. It's still fall this year, so it's still very good news. But we do have some brand new information, which did get sort of leaked / rumored ages ago when this first came out, obviously the first trailer. And that was obviously we're going to get Ressurection F Saga, right? Straight after this. Now everyone was a bit skeptical. You know, obviously it did sort of hint towards it in the description of it. It did sort of say a Dragon Ball Super enhanced version. So it didn't quite specify Beerus in that section. But then later on it did say Beerus, so people were saying it could be translation error and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, we have some few interviews here. Obviously, we have one here, which, you know, she clearly says here, hope we're excited for the powered up enhanced edition of Goku and Frieza battle, which obviously, if we go over here, they tease Frieza. So it is definitely very huge news. Obviously, this doesn't quite confirm the whole Dragon Ball Super remake, but at the same time, it pretty much does, without them fully saying in person, like, yep, it's fully getting remastered, right? Or enhanced, whatever you're going to call it. Obviously I can't show the full clip, just in case, copyright reasons, stuff like that. But if we go over here as well, it does officially say fall this year, so I'm assuming what their plan is, as soon as Dragon Ball Super Beerus has finished, the next week, if it is going to be weekly episodes, which I'm assuming they're probably going to do weekly episodes, I don't see why they wouldn't do weekly episodes. So let's say it's weekly, as soon as the Beerus Saga is finished, we're going straight on to Frieza Saga by the looks of it. Because, like I said, it does show full here. So, unless it's a typing error, which I highly doubt this will be an error. So, I'm assuming that means we are going to get the full remastered of Super. Which, at the same time, could be good and bad, depending how you look at it. Because, to me, how I'm going to look at this is we're still going to get all the information that Super requires to actually go over the storyline and stuff like that. But I reckon they're going to speed up a lot of the sort of filler art, or sort of filler parts in the episode. They're going to try and cut them out a little bit to speed this up. Because if we're going to get the Frieza Saga this year as well, depending when Beerus comes out, because my assumption is we're probably going to get the Beerus Saga come out in probably late September, maybe October, around then, I'm thinking. It's hard to fully say, but if they're going to push out the Frieza Saga as well, they're going to have to do it sort of fairly quickly. But then after that, I'm assuming we're just going to go straight on to the next arc as soon as Frieza's finished. So, there's a lot of possibilities. I'm expecting we'll get another big event coming up soon that Dragon Ball's going to be attending to, or maybe hosting the full event. I'm not too sure, because they did also show the English voice actor for Beerus as well. So, seeing that, I'm assuming that means they're going to try and wait to get all the English dub done first with Beerus, or something like that, to work out, yep, the English dub comes out on later this year, but then the sub comes out a little bit earlier this year. I'm assuming that's how they're going to play this out, which if that's the case, that's fine while they're waiting. At least we're going to get something this year, well, 2 sagas this year. Whether we'll get any more this year, I don't know. Like I said, it's very hard to say, because we don't know how many episodes there are. There was a few stuff on Twitter here and there showing that there could be like 12 episodes of one saga, 6 and all that other one, which I'm not going to believe just yet. It could happen, that could be the case. If so, that's probably why they're speeding it up a little bit in terms of showing these teasers. But I did predict we would get the Frieza Saga tease. I did say that on Twitter, so it does obviously bring a lot of excitement to Dragon Ball in general, in terms of what could this mean for the future, because as we can obviously tell from the little cutscenes we got here, the animation looks way better than obviously the original Super. But this is because now that Dragon Ball Super is doing an enhanced version, they've taken their time with it. So if I'm not mistaken, when Dragon Ball Super first aired, they were sort of semi-rushing to get videos, oh no, I was going to say videos, get episodes done weekly, or whatever it was. So at least now they've had a lot of time to go over it, make sure every episode, cut, all that, is all pretty much perfect, right? So that's why I think this super enhanced version is going to be, yeah, it's pretty much ideal for what they want for the Moro arc as well. Because they do heavily say in the interview as well with Ayuku, I was going to say his name wrong then. They do heavily say they want to try and make it very precise and accurate to how Toriyama wants it done, right? How he designed Dragon Ball Super with Toritoro, right? So doing that means they're going to go back to sort of original manga stuff. So that does mean Battle of the Gods is definitely going to get reworked in a way, so it's going to be a bit different to how you see it in the anime and movies, obviously. And obviously if Frieza Sagas or the Resurrection of Frieza, it's going to be a bit different as well, which obviously in the manga, a lot of people are excited for that. So, in the anime, a lot of people are excited. The movie was good, but yeah, that's why it's good to get this remade. But even this probably get changed a bit as well, because they're trying to make this a really good flow into the Mario arc, right? Which is obviously coming in probably maybe 2027, 2028, around then. So you still have a long way to go. But at the same time, since we're in this Dragon Ball Super remake, that's going to easily hold us off all the way up until Mario arc, which I'm very excited for. So what I would assume, because obviously a lot of people are going to say, oh, when we're going to get the next teaser for the next arc and stuff like that, I wouldn't expect anything else to release semi-new. I would expect, when we do get the official announcement of when Dragon Ball Super Beerus is going to come out, I would then expect probably a release date for Beerus. Then probably as soon as they show the release date for Beerus, then they'll probably show an extended version of the Frieza trailer. Because the Frieza trailer is very, very short. Like, they only really showed him getting reborn again, sort of thing, and that was sort of it. They didn't really show you too much. Nothing really in detail. You can watch the video up, obviously, on YouTube if you want. Like I said, I can't quite show it here, just in case I do get copyright strike, which I don't think I would, but I want to play a bit safe here. So, it would be very interesting to see if they do, like, the Champ of Beerus, Champ of his Beerus, stuff like that, arc afterwards, but I don't expect any of that just yet. Any teasers of that. Like I said, it all depends on how fast-paced we're going to move throughout these episodes. Like I said, I'm expecting it to be weekly episodes. Whether it is or not, I have no clue. But just because of how well the trailers and that put together, and especially for Frieza, it shows me the production is very far in front. Maybe not as far in front as like the voice acting goes, because I think they take a little bit longer to the voice acting. Especially if like the English dub, they got to try and, well, any dub, they got to try and mimic the voices to sort of match the lip sync and stuff like that, so it does take a bit longer to do the voice acting part. But if they've moved this far along already with the production in terms of the anime, like the quality and stuff like that, I don't expect Beerus Saga to be released too late. Like I said, I think maybe early September if we're lucky, but anywhere from late September to mid-October maybe. Like I said, it's very hard to say, but I don't think we have to wait super long. Like, I don't think we're going to wait till like near very close to the end of the year. But I don't know when the next big event's going to be where they release more info and stuff like that. They could just randomly release a trailer. They very well could. Do I think they're going to do that? Probably not, because Dragon Ball, obviously, with Battle Hour, they love to build up the hype. They love to show the fans, how much they love and appreciate everyone. Right? That's why they do these big Battle Hour events, stuff like that. So I would expect another big event coming up. Even if it's like an anime convention, a big one, I can't really think of any on top of my head right now. It's a bit early in the morning for me, so I'm still getting my head around all this new info. So, like I said, I'd expect any sort of big event, Dragon Ball would probably be there to go, hey, Beerus is going to release in September or October, stuff like that. So, there's a lot of big Dragon Ball news, obviously, coming. And like I said, today was probably one of the biggest ones. Well, Genki Damatsuri was probably obviously the biggest one, but this has to be the second biggest. There was a lot of new game info, stuff like that. Xenoverse 3 finally got announced. Dragon Ball Legends, Dokkan, and Squadra doing collabs with Xenoverse 2, because Xenoverse 2 is finally ending. So there was heaps of new news this morning at Battle Hour. Well, this morning for me. But I think Dragon Ball is definitely going to be set for years and years to come. The way they keep improving everything, they know the fans want a Dragon Ball Super to get remade, just because some things in Super are good, some things in Super we just don't ever want to talk about again, especially like the Super Saiyan 3 cutscene, stuff like that. So, like I said, it's good that Dragon Ball's taking on this initiative to keep improving the franchise, getting the fans up and about, all hyped and stuff like that. And I guess we're very excited to see the Mario arc as well, but I guess the next big thing we have to really keep an eye out for is when the manga's going to return. Now, I don't know any new information about the manga just yet. I did hear that it could be happening this year. We could see announcements returning, and that could be why Toyotora has been a bit quiet in terms of the Dragon Ball events, because he wasn't at Battle Hour, he wasn't at Geiki Damatsuri, so I'm assuming they're just leaving him to the side, letting him cook up like he usually does, because he'll cook something really good, especially like a Black Frieza saga, stuff like that. There's heaps of potential, right? But I do expect the manga to return fairly soon. I wouldn't say within the next few months, but I'm expecting hopefully by this year. Yeah, again, I've heard not really much, except for they're apparently working on it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know if 100% sure, obviously, but hopefully it's true, and we do get manga very, very soon. But if not, we still got a while till, you know, we get to the Moro arc anyway, so. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys are excited for, you know, obviously Beerus Saga getting remade, or, you know, Frieza Saga finally happening, Resurrection of Frieza. And, yeah, or if there's anything else better you're really hyped for. And if you guys like this video and you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.